push-ups, make sure your core stays tight. Make sure your elbows stay close to your ribs. Chin is up, head is neutral. All right, good. All right, once that's easy, we can go feet elevated push-ups. So you're gonna put your feet on the box.
Like toes on it like that?
Yep, toes on the box. Once your core tight, again, you're gonna try to get your nose to the floor. All right, core stays tight. Elbows are not out, they're kind of close, a little bit more closer to your rib cage. You're good, I'm just explaining. All right, then we go from the side. Good. Good. Love people that just do it perfect. All right, good. Continue to keep your core tight. Same thing from the side. Again, make sure your core is tight, nose to the floor. All right, good. You want to make sure you get your knee up and out. You're going to try to touch your elbow with your knee, keeping your core tight, and try not to rotate too much. Good, and from the side. And good, perfect. Good, you want to keep your core tight. Again, nose to the floor. Make sure you're breathing in and breathing out. With the pull-ups, if you can't do regular pull-ups, you can use a band. So she's gonna go regular pull-ups, chin over the bar, chin-ups. All right, then we're gonna alternate in grip. So over one, one's over, one's over. Pulling all the way up, his chin clears the bar. And then you can do neutral grip. Pulling all the way up, chin over the bar. Good, nice and controlled, no swinging. This is not CrossFit. And then we go pull-ups. Pull-ups, hand is wider. Again, core is tight, no swinging. Pulling all the way up over the bar. And then back down. One more time. And if you cannot do these with your body weight, you can use a resistive band or you can use an assisted pull-up machine. And then you just, yeah. All right, so for your bench press, you want to make sure your back stays in contact with the bench. You want to make sure your butt always stays in contact with the bench. Feet should be flat on the floor, but if they cannot be flat, you can put them up on the side of the bench or you can put a plate on the ground and stack your feet on top. Hands need to be even, so you want to line your hands up evenly. And spread them out. Hopefully you'll have a spot, but if you do not have a spot, make sure your form is correct, and if the weight gets too heavy, make sure you rack it and have a spotter help you. You want to lift off. Bar should come right over the nipple line and press back. Again, down. Make sure you're breathing out as you come up, breathing in as the weight comes down. And then rack. All right, so for our bench press, the same thing applies as if we're on the bench using a barbell. Now we have dumbbells. Again, you're gonna try to make sure your feet stay on the ground. You're gonna make sure your back is flat. You also wanna make sure your core is tight. Different variations of this. You can do regular, just straight up presses. And then we can alternate. Again, making sure everything's tight. You want to wait till that dumbbell comes down before you press the other one up. All right, and then we can go single arm. Make sure you do both evenly on the other side. Again, make sure you're breathing and you're not holding your breath. And then we can do our combo. So single arm, then double. Again, making sure back stays in contact with the bench, butt stays in contact with the bench, and feet are flat either on the ground, the dumbbell, or the side of the bench. Good. All right, so for our incline press, same combinations. The bench is usually elevated to about a 45-degree angle. If we go high incline, it could be a little higher, but for general purposes, let's go 45-degree angle. Same combination. You can go double. You can go alternating. And then you can do single arm. And then you have your combo. All right, for general purposes, we always try to do a neutral grip. You can go wider, but we'll do neutral grip to save the shoulder. So neutral grip, palms facing in, and this is also can be done as far as a wider grip, but for the most part, we'll do neutral grip. All right, so for our inverted row series, beginners, we'll start with our knees bent. So you want to row all the way up. Make sure you're alternating you're rotating your arms when you come up, rotating your wrist. Core stays tight. You want to lead with your chest first. Okay? The next progression is one leg. So she'll go to one leg and she'll pull all the way up. Again, making sure she leads with her chest. Her core is staying tight. All right? After that, she'll go with legs straight, toes up. Again, pulling all the way up to the bar. Make sure you're breathing and make sure you're really squeezing your shoulder blades back. Again, do not forget to rotate your wrist at the top. Okay? Next progression is 2 feet on the box, feet elevated. Again, pulling all the way up. She's keeping her body as tight as she can. All the way up and through. And then we have single leg. Put that in there. So you'll have that up, one leg on the box and one leg up. Pull all the way up and through. Again, keeping your core tight. Make sure you're rotating through as you come up. Good. For bent over rows, we can do these a couple of different ways. For bent over rows, we can do 2 dumbbells. All the way up and down, all the way up and down. She's keeping her back as flat as she can. She's still in the athletic stance, knees are bent, and head is neutral. We go single arm. Make sure you get a good wide base. Make sure you keep your back flat. And you're pulling all the way up and through. Try not to rotate too much through the shoulders. All the way up, keeping that elbow close to your body. All right, so you can do alternating. So she's gonna get in a good athletic stance. Shoulders are gonna stay back. Weight stays in front, and she's gonna pull up, alternating the dumbbells. Good. So you can either use, if you have a resistive band, great, or you can use a cable machine. She's gonna get in a squat stance. She's gonna pull all the way through, keeping her core tight, chin up, weight is in her heels. Those are double arm. You can also go single arm with these. So she's gonna get in a good athletic stance, single arm. She can either keep her feet together or she can stagger her stance, whichever one works for you. Pulling all the way through. And again, you can do this with a resistance band or you can do this with a cable machine. Good. For any shoulder work, shoulder presses, make sure you have a neutral grip. All right, so core is tight, in an athletic stance, knees are bent, hips are back. All right, so regular shoulder presses. All right, and then we have single presses and our alternating presses. All right, also upright row. So upright row, she's gonna start with her dumbbells down by the sides. She's gonna keep her elbows up, core tight. So pulling all the way up. Good, and upright row, you're standing straight and you're pulling the weight to you. Just make sure your elbows are high. You're pulling the weight up as if you're lifting up your shirt. All right, so our shoulder combo. She's gonna raise front, then she's gonna go lateral, and then she's gonna bend over, back flat, and pull rear. Keep going. So front, her core stays nice and tight. Her hips stay back and she's breathing. Notice that she's not swaying or leaning forward. All the way up to the side, pull, good. Bending over, keeping the back nice and flat. And perfect, good. This will be our rear delt pulls. You can either do this with a resistance band like she's doing, or you can also do this with a cable machine. So the cable machine is probably better to use the rope. Resistance band is also good. You see she's in an athletic stance, knees are flexed, so she's bent. She's ready to go, and her feet are together, but still in an athletic stance, shoulder width apart. All right, she's gonna pull, she's gonna change her feet up so she can do a split stance here. She's pulling the band to the bridge of her nose. This is also a different variation with the feet staggered. Elbows are out wide. Her core is staying nice and tight, okay? Progression to make it a little bit difficult, you can do single leg. So she's gonna balance, keeping that front knee flexed, knees not going over the toe. She's staying nice and tight in her core, and she's pulling the band all the way to the bridge of her nose. Again, elbows are nice and wide, and she's squeezing her shoulder blades back. Good. So we went through, this is actually our shoulder circuit, so we do this for rehab work. We also do this for just really good rotational work for the shoulder blades, and then around the shoulder. All right, so first one, she's gonna go L. So her back is nice and flat, and she's just L. So basically she's just rotating around her elbows there. Good. And then she's gonna go wide, so thumbs are facing up. Nice and steady, she's squeezing those shoulder blades back. Good. Now she's gonna go to a T. Palms are flat here. Again, pulling straight up. Back is nice and flat, core is tight. And then she's gonna go to what we call U's, although it may not look like it. So she's gonna start with her palms in, elbows bent, palms facing in, and pushing all the way out. You wanna keep your arms about a 90-degree angle on this one. Good. So bring them in just a little bit more right here. There we go, perfect. Good, so she's squeezing and she's rotating those palms out. And again, one more time through, we got our L's. We got our L's. We got our Y's. We got our T's. And we got our U's. Good, this can also be done on the bench. So you can also do this on a bench if your core isn't quite strong enough. So she can either lay flat here or she can put one knee in, which is very comfortable for her. Good. So again, she's got her L's. She's got her Y's. She's got her T's. And she's got her U's. Yep.